Hello and welcome from Budapest. This is Hungary Reports from Public Media M1, bringing you the latest news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. I'm Árpád Szőci. Great that you can be with us. Hungary has drastically stepped up measures to combat the coronavirus in the country. Just like in many other nations in the region, the Hungarian government has ordered various restrictions. Prime Minister Viktor Orbán announced those in Parliament on Monday, saying that because of the pandemic, life in the coming months will not be the same as to what people have been used to. Here's the Prime Minister on the main changes.
Due to the coronavirus epidemic, Hungary's borders are now being closed down to passenger traffic. Relevant international consultations are currently underway. As a result, in the future, only Hungarian nationals will be allowed to enter the country's territory. Starting midnight, events will also be banned in general, and sports events can only be held provided the organizers decide to go ahead behind closed doors. It is, however, best if they are not held at all. We are closing down entertainment venues and cinemas, while in the case of cultural institutions, we are introducing a visiting ban. Restaurants, cafes and shops will only be allowed to stay open until 3 p.m. Food stores, pharmacies and drugstores are the only exceptions.
Some of my colleagues here at Magyar Televízió were at Hungarian border crossings to report on what was happening. However, traffic was already down even before the Hungarian PM's announcement. It looks like Europe is grinding to a stop, and that will also lead to what experts are predicting: serious economic consequences.
The crew of M1 tried to shoot on the Slovakian side of the Patkány Bridge this morning. However, they were told that they were not allowed to cross the border. This family arrived from Russia. They spent a few days in Patkány. They are traveling home earlier than expected because of the current situation.
By air float?
We are flying from Budapest. I hope we don't have to come back because our flight will be cancelled. Everything is fine. We are not ill. Unfortunately, everything was closed during our vacation. Nevertheless, the city is very beautiful, this woman said. Traffic was less than on a typical day on Monday at several border crossings in Hungary. Less traffic was also noted at the highway leading to Croatia. In Letonia, they anticipate that foreign nationals might not be able to go further because of the current border lockdown. The settlement has prepared for this. There's a great chance that those who are stuck at the border will stay here, and that finding lodgings for them will have to be dealt with by those who are here, Szilárd Farkas said. There was hardly any movement at the border in Reszke. Serbia already closed its borders to foreign nationals on Sunday. However, many foreign nationals tried to cross the border from the direction of Austria. Many of them were Romanian. Waiting times varied during Sunday night and Monday on account of spot checks. At the border in Záhony on the exit side, there were mostly cars with Ukrainian license plates. As a result of Hungary's border lockdown, which goes into effect Monday at midnight, only Hungarian citizens will be allowed back into the country.
Health services are facing challenges not yet seen before in peacetime. In fact, as long as the coronavirus crisis exists, hospitals will now only do emergency operations and will postpone everything else. Ambulatory services are also trying to get used to the new situation.
Strict rules are being introduced at the border in Kiskunhalas. Only urgent operations will be carried out. Rehab will not accept patients. And starting Tuesday, only emergency cases will be dealt with in terms of outpatients. This hospital has prepared for the epidemic. There is enough protective apparel and disinfectant in stock. Resupply is guaranteed. The building of the infectious division has been fenced around. Entry is limited, and the upper level has been emptied for more space. The Hungarian National Ambulance Service has formed special ambulatory stations in order to protect patients as well as ambulance staff. The goal of these disinfection stations is to disinfect ambulances that are used to transport those suspected of having the coronavirus, as well as to replace medical goods. The staff of M1 was allowed inside the Honvéd Hospital in Budapest after a fever check and debriefing. Inpatient and outpatient care can only take place after an examination at the pre-checkpoint. Specialist clinics, inpatient wards, as well as diagnostic services can only be requested by those who are not suspected of having the coronavirus. Insofar as they are clear, they immediately get a mask and are separated in the red zone. Measures have been brought about so that only emergency cases will be considered in terms of all outpatients and inpatients. Ildikó Mózsai said, "In order to help the medical professionals of the hospital focus on the examination and care of patients, all staff at the institution help at the pre-checkpoint."
Police have taken into custody an alleged swindler who was selling face masks. The owner of an American company complained to police after he had answered an internet ad and ordered 220 million of the masks. He transferred the money for the products, but then was supposedly asked again for more money. That's when he became suspicious, and at his next personal meeting with the alleged swindler, he didn't come alone.
The man was taken down at a restaurant where he was dealing with face masks in the name of an existing web shop. The alleged fraudster wanted to exploit the growing demand due to the coronavirus. The man has Honduran nationality but lives in Hungary. He was reported by an American company owner after they agreed to an order of 220 million face masks. The customer paid for the products and met with the man in Hungary, who asked for a further $27,000 without even producing the face masks. The customer asked for another meeting because of this. They met at a downtown restaurant, but this time the chief executive took police with him, since the whole thing was suspicious to him. There, the police caught the 35-year-old Honduran man who introduced himself using a fake name, Ferenc Rapp said. On Monday, the city's prosecutor's office initiated the detention of the man. More and more cyber fraudsters try to take advantage of the spreading of the coronavirus by reporting false news on the epidemic on a seemingly authorized website. For example, a couple of days ago, fake news was going around on the internet that authorities are planning to shut down all of Budapest and put it under quarantine. Both the government and the operative board denied the fake news. The alleged publisher of the fake news was caught by the police on Sunday. The 30-year-old man was interrogated under the auspices of being a dangerous threat to the public.
The number of people testing positive for the coronavirus in Hungary has increased by 7 from Sunday to Monday. That means that there are now at least 39 people with the infection. All 7 of the new cases are Hungarian. Out of the total of 39, 29 are Hungarian, 9 are Iranian, and 1 is British. Most of the people affected live in Budapest. And now some important information for foreigners living in Hungary in connection with the virus. Hungarian health authorities ask that people regularly wash their hands with soap or with an alcohol-based hand disinfectant, and that they avoid being in contact with people who are running a fever. Furthermore, if you have symptoms or you've arrived in Hungary within the past few days from a region where measures have been taken to fight the pandemic, please don't go out in the community. Instead, phone and inform your family physician in Hungary or call one of the numbers on your screen and ask for an English-speaking staff member. Experts will take your call and can explain what possible steps you may have to take. The most important thing is not to panic. You will get expert assistance in Hungary. And stay healthy. That's all for now, but we'll be back again live around 11:20 p.m. Central European Time, and you can catch Hungary reports in repeats and online as well. Please stay around now for our other shows in German, Russian, and Chinese. Thanks for watching, and viszontlátásra.